New decks are arriving slowly but surely, but most definitely as well is just as sure is Adam playing Maliss. Off with his head. It's good to see you. Welcome back.
What's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Guys, and I'm here with
Adam.
And Adam is here at Collector's Cash. Shout out to Cash. Shout out to the Wise Guys, and shout out to you, bro. You know, you're one of them with Maliss, and I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, I've been on this deck for a while. Figured out your profile. I've been doing pretty well at locals with this. You know, topping a bunch around there. Took it to a regional. Didn't do too shabby at that one either. A lot of draws, but the deck was really good. It's sort of like I just started playing Maliss Fiendsmith over the Maliss Bystial, mostly for fun. I think the Bystial version. I think it is better. But with a lot of people sort of shifting away and going into pure Ryziel, I think this has a little bit of a better matchup. It's also just a whole lot more fun to play over whole more lines. So
Yu-Gi-Oh's all about fun, bro.
And I'll get straight into it. So for the Maliss cards, it's a little bit of a smaller engine. 3 Dormouse, 3 White Rabbit, 3 Jessie, 3 Field Spout, the 3 Traps, and then the 1 Gold Sark. So I think the only thing that's typically cut is a Terraforming. I opted for 2 Chessie. I'm playing 43. The math essentially on starters was exactly the same having Chessie as it was having 1. And there were a couple of people who were playing this at Orlando, only had 1.
Yeah.
For the Fiendsmith stuff, it's a pretty straightforward engine. I actually bumped this up. I was at the regional kind of playing it in this end. But I really just enjoyed opening Engraver. It's another extender. It kind of just serves like a Bystial in that sense. And I'll kind of show at the end of the video the kind of combo I was doing with just Dormouse. This is optional. I actually don't think this card is that great. There's a fear factor sometimes of just having this card that your opponent will start to play around it. So it's always getting sided out.
I try to block people from that card every time, bro.
It is. And so, you know, I mean, the only bad time is if your opponent blind duels you. But honestly, if they see you have Maliss cards, they typically hold away from doing that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of non-engine. So I'm still playing like a Bystial package. It's just a slightly smaller one. I'm typically using them in extenders, but obviously into the Fiendsmith Ryziel boards, it's really, really good. It's also good into Maliss boards as well. People don't realize if you wait in certain positions, you can actually choke them out. You typically need it to pair it with something, but it's really strong. And then the cards that everybody else is typically playing in their deck is just these 12 hand traps.
Shout out to the rarities, bro.
Yeah, they're pretty shiny ones. And then the only thing to call out here is I don't play for Wallace. I feel like that's always getting ashed. People know how to make a half board underneath for Wallace and Wallace, and typically you're losing to the half board that they make anyway. So I prefer my hand traps to just resolve, be able to get them off. And so I haven't actually played the Wallace for a while. I lent them out and it kind of just made me think about the deck differently.
I heavily agree with sometimes some decks can side it or not. You know,
yeah, I think siding it is pretty good if you're bringing them in. I actually think Wallace is maybe a little bit stronger at the moment.
Yeah.
And then Metaltronus. So everybody knows about this card now. It's really, really good. The only thing I'll say is I think some people are using this in maybe the wrong way. And so kind of a spoiler for the side, I do play the detonator. Honestly, I might cut this. It comes up sometimes to banishing the side, but I value the body. And so a lot of time under the detonator, I'm actually just bringing out another nib and using the body to combo off. And a lot of people aren't thinking about what they can bring out. So if somebody nibs me, for example, I will Metaltronus to bring out another nib to kind of keep the bodies to keep climbing.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into Phantasme. Sorry, not Phantasme. I'll go into Firewall Dragon. Thinking of a side deck card. Phantasme is another target. But I'll go into Firewall Dragon and then actually co-link it to add the nib back to my hand. Right? So it kind of gives you that half board through the nib.
Wait, say that again?
So you can put Firewall. Yeah, so if somebody nibs you Metaltronus, target the nib to special summon the nib, but you don't banish both of them face down.
Right.
Instead, you leave the nib on the field and you special summon your own nib, and then you link it off and you keep climbing. And you get into a nice situation where you can have something like this set up, and then you can use Firewall to just add the Nibiru back to your hand. And so you can do that in loads of situations. So I got Bystial earlier today.
I'm gonna stop you right there. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of
crazy.
Those are
crazy lines. And if they Bystial, for example, if you're playing a Maliss Mirror, you can add the Phantasme and do the exact same thing, and it kind of just gives you another choke point of interaction. So there's a lot of lines.
This is a skillful card. I don't care what anybody says.
It's really, really good. there's just loads of interactions. Like if somebody Bystials you, again, Phantasmate, you can also special summon Mag, link off Mag, and then you've got different lines. Like Mag's a slightly different one in how you play it, because you can bow into the Mag and then use the Mag effect to add another Bystial into your hand.
Yep.
So yeah, I think there's ways. I think people are using it in a big sense to just like clear boards, but there's lots of other interactions too. If you play Firewall,
that's the tip of the iceberg, bro.
Yeah, very skillful card, very good. A lot of people are siding out. I actually keep it in going first as well, because if my opponent special summons like Chaos Hunter, which a lot of people are, it's the reason I got off cross out. This is a really strong card to help you out the Chaos Hunter and then give yourself more bodies.
Yeah.
For the side deck, so I already mentioned this. I'd probably cut this. Maybe for like a Talons or a Harpies. Harpies is pretty good. I'm playing for us, so goes with that. Free Lancia, free Droll for the Mitsurugi matchup. That one's really high roll. Free Phantasme, 2 Thrust, Called by the Grave, and just these 2 targets. I was playing Mistress for the Gnomes. That card's super fun. I'll probably go back to it, but just for like locals, there's a lot more rogue that you face here, and this has a bit more coverage over it.
And then there's more decks coming out that are just
yeah, exactly. I also figured Blue Eyes might have been legal for today, so I figured that was going to be
he was ready for
a better choice for it.
Right.
I'll go for the extra, very fast. So I'm playing a very small Fiendsmith package. So shout out to some of the Orlando guys. Joe kind of like put me on this deck as well as Sako, but they were playing Caesar and Necroquip. I actually just ended up cutting those, mostly because you get link locked from the Maliss cards, and typically I'm just using them to extend it to 2 bodies anyway. Normally when you put the Requiem onto the Lacrima, your opponent's nibbing you anyway, so the threat's almost there. This is the honorary card, and you'll see in the combo lines kind of how it ends up into that extent. Last two, these 2 cards are crazy. That you can recycle this, and the end board that I'm ending on, you can actually bring it out onto your opponent's turn.
It's probably the best end board in the game too.
Yeah, it's really strong, and it's very minimal. These are kind of my extenders. This is an extender. A lot of people again are not knowing how to like extend through your board when you sort of get nibbed, to use this to banish the red ransom and kind of give yourself follow-up. This card's amazing in this deck. Shout out to Link 1's being broken.
Tell me.
And then Firewall, again, was doing crazy stuff with this every time I'm sort of like bouncing something to my hand
it's
to
so
be able to use
out,
it.
bro. It's ghost rare. It's
yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I promise, it's a Firewall.
Shout out to Dakota for hooking me up with that. And then just the free Link Freeze. These are all amazing. I wish I could find room for 2 of these. But yeah, these cards are amazing. So yeah, I'll go really quick through sort of what I'm doing as like a typical combo. So I'm doing the normal Dormouse line, Dormouse, Banish, White Rabbit.
Yep.
And then from here, I'm actually going in and setting GW6, which I think a lot of people are going the opposite way. And then I link these 2 off, and I go straight into Haggard. And so everyone is normally going TB11. I actually go down that a little bit later. So I do Haggard. That brings back my Dormouse in this situation. This is where I'm in like a really commanding spot. Like if you get here, it's really strong. I don't use the on-summon effect to banish it. The reason being is like if you get like nibbed at this point or anything, you still have GW6, right? And this assumes like just Dormouse, so the only cards in your hand, you haven't got Fiendsmith to extend or anything like that. Then I use the effect and I go and set the TB11. Then you use TB11, you banish, you can go ahead and special your Chessie. Use this to come back, you're going to draw a card, so you're kind of like at net 1 at the moment, and you know we're assuming that the hand is, you know, just non-engine. So you draw 1 card, and then you can link this off, link both of these 2 off into your Moon. And Moon is going to go straight down into the Fiendsmith lines. I'll kind of skip through these a little bit just to save us all time. But Requiem into Lacrima. Lacrima sends the Engraver. Engraver shuffles back Moon to come back. And then this is where I think people go a little bit different. Is they try and like, you know, maybe you can't make a Caesar, but they try and play slightly differently. Is you can just link these both off into IP.
This is hilarious.
And like this is the end board, right? And so it looks really small. This is the 1-card combo. Of course, you can do slightly more off Dormouse, but this is really strong because on your opponent's turn, you have access to special summon Requiem by shuffling back the Lacrima, bring it back, and send a trap, which is another like layer of interruption that you have here. And then of course you've got the White Binder to come back. And so when you're in that situation now, your white binder is
So it looks minimal, but it's not at all.
Exactly, because you're bringing back like a number of bodies here. And typically, like you normally banish the Dormouse just in case you're playing like a mirror and you want to keep it on the summon of this when you bring it back. But now you've got access to Crypta if you want off the IP. You've got access into a Bow. You can go into like a Griffin. So you can play in some very clever ways depending on sort of like what you've got. And obviously you have the trap that follows up into that as well. Off of this.
That's crazy.
So it's like a really, really powerful board. Very, very difficult to break through. And this assumes as well, right? This was 4 cards plus you replace 1 in hand. So you've got non-engine to kind of back that board up. It's just so hard to die through it. And on the crackback, you just
and that's why this deck is just taking over. Like right.
It's really, really strong. And then the 2-card combos, you know, they get even better. All I'll say is like set this. Like that's the secret. Don't set TB11. Set TB6.
set this card. I got you. Well, bro, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you right back.
Deck is absolutely gas. And shout out to the wise guys. We out.